look at the new Ofsted criteria on what is a good lesson, it's student-led. It's not a teacher standing at the front of the class. And if a lesson is student-led and it is open-ended and it is about exploring and it is about taking risks, that's a creative lesson. I think sometimes people think that a creative lesson means that there's got to be balloons and banners and whistles and things like that. It's not. It's about the children taking charge of their learning.
We always considered ourselves a creative school, and I suppose we see different aspects to that. I think one of them is that our creative subjects, art, music, drama, media, photography, are all excellent in themselves, and we've really maintained those, sometimes in the face of a bit of government legislation that would perhaps say actually it's not so worthwhile doing those. We absolutely don't believe that. We think they're really worthwhile. I think one of the things Artsmark brought to us was some both validation of that, but also looking at the standards there. It's sort of, oh, we're doing those things really well, but actually we can do that. And I think it's very much promoted our work in partnerships with others. I would say that's been key. And it's been really helpful for us to work as a framework and to meet other schools who are involved with Artsmark.
So this caveman was trying to make a weapon out of flint and some other rocks. He was using it for killing animals, chopping down trees to make houses and making clothes.
The good thing about Artsmark is it's about your journey. It's so individual, it's untrue. So if you have zero art happening at your school and you do something creative, that's your journey. And it's about reflecting on that. It's about thinking how we could do more. It's not hugely time consuming. And it's great because you can build it into your school's development plan. And you don't have to be running separate time consuming arts classes. You can do it through the subjects that you're teaching normally. And that actually just makes the teaching better because you're using innovation and you're keeping the children engaged.
What I like about the new Artsmark is that self-assessment process covers all areas of arts provision. So it's looking at things like leadership, curriculum design, CPD, partnership working. And it's actually a tool to aid whole school improvement. It really supports that across the curriculum.
I think the most valuable outcome for us through taking on Artsmark is first of all, the improved teaching and learning that we've seen within the arts across the school. The fact that Artsmark has propelled arts to the forefront of a lot of teachers' minds has meant that we've also had a lot of input through staff expertise, learning walks, collaboration with external partners. That has definitely then impacted on what we can offer children and the outcomes that they've had as a result of this improved staff confidence, staff knowledge, staff CPD.
To help us think like doctors in the Renaissance period, in front of you there are two little speeches from a Shakespeare play, and they're discussing the same man. I think he's mad, so they're going to try and diagnose and help his madness. And what I would like you to do is pick out what medical things you can see happening that might be the same as the medieval period, and can you spot anything different, or are things still quite similar?
Any head teacher at the moment needs to make a very, very conscious decision about what they're going to do with the arts. You either have to make a decision to compartmentalise the arts, or you choose to go the other way and embed the arts in the heart of everything you're doing, in all the core subjects, in all the English, in all the maths, in all the foundation subjects. So you celebrate the arts through making them at the core of your learning experience rather than the periphery.
Shield wall! Best war faces!
Artsmark has really made me think we are doing the right thing by making sure that we've got a really good balance in our school of preparing for tests, but also looking at how you can do those things in a fun and an inspirational way for children and the impact that that has.
In maths we had like this graph, and we had to like put the characters in the story onto the graph of like what positions like it will be in. So we were sort of like mixing maths in with like the play.
Working in Stoke Newington, because I know it's a creative school, gives me the confidence to embed it into everything I do because I know it will be supported.
In French, we were trying to imagine what it would be like in a real situation instead of like copying something off the board. So we did like these scripts, and then you had to improvise some French to someone else who was improvising French. It just kind of made the situation more real than from just copying from the board or just like saying a few words repeated after your teacher.
When a school registers for Artsmark, it commits to a journey. That starts with self-assessment, looking at what they're doing really well now, and also then starting to create a kind of vision for what they would like to do. They go to a development day, they meet with peers from other schools, they share their ideas, and they start to create a plan of action. That all feeds into a statement of commitment, and that gets then submitted to the Arts Council, and that forms their baseline. They have up to 2 years to deliver this action plan, and throughout that phase they can call on support from the Bridge organisation, like us at A New Direction. We can give them one-to-one support, we can offer them peer learning support surgeries, and at the end of that 2 years, it can be less, but schools are encouraged to reflect and analyse the impact that their activities have had, and that is really a key word, impact. It's about change. You made something happen. And they complete a case study, which then goes into the Arts Council. The 2 documents, the statement of commitment and the case study, are assessed, and that's what determines the level that the school is awarded. And then they celebrate.
When we want to try and work with feeder primary schools or work with other schools in the borough or work with partners, we have something that kind of is a little flag saying they're really good at this actually, and they're worth working with.
It's taken us out of just associating with schools and with other teachers, and now we're partnering with lots of people from lots of different backgrounds, and we wouldn't have known, you know, and had those contacts before Artsmark. So I feel like we've joined a wider community.
Who can show me what a king would look like?
Anna!
Let's have a look. Show me. Wow, good. Yeah.
What did you learn about?
King!
Which king was it?
Bird!
What was the king's name? Can you remember?
Scottish! Macbeth!
Why would I recommend other schools participate in Artsmark? Because you never know what's going to come out of it, but it's going to be a brilliant surprise. We didn't go out and say, right, what do we do to achieve gold? It was a case of, this is what we're doing, what are we recognised as? And actually to acknowledge and recognise as gold was, you know, very rewarding in itself. You know, we were positive about the arts in the first place, but as a result of it, we've had new ideas of what experiences that we can provide for our pupils who have actually been the beneficiaries throughout.
Because it's not just about if there's not creative subjects you won't be able to draw or act and think, because you're incorporating it with everything you do. So it helps you in all other subjects, and it just helps you in your personal life because, you know, you think more in depth about things, and it's just, yeah, it's interesting.